Continue on with our 2025 NFL Draft Prospect Profiles. Today is running back position, Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina, and he is my favorite prospect in this year's draft. Yes, you heard me right. No, I'm not a hater for Ashton Jeanty. I think I'm coming off that way to a lot of people. I don't see some of the things in Ashton Jeanty, and we won't get into that in this video, that a lot of other people do, but I'll show you some of the things I see in Omarion Hampton that make me put him slightly above him. Now, I'm realistic. I realize Ashton Jeanty is probably going number one overall. Even more reason that I like Omarion Hampton, because if one of these guys right here, there's a lot of them I've got for these running backs right at the 39, 41 spot we're picking. If one of these guys falls to us at 41, I am all in on the Bears taking one of these running backs that I really like at the top there. So you'll see here, Omarion Hampton to me is a late first-round prospect, right here in the early 20s to early 30s. A lot of people, though, you see here, ESPN, WC Gridiron, MD, Mock Draft Database, Todd McShay, 33rd Team, they've all got him going past where our first pick is there at 39. And if that's true, I would snag him up in a heartbeat because he is a very special running back to me. Many compare him to Adrian Peterson, and I do see the comps. And when I mention those comps, guys, I'm not saying he's going to be Adrian Peterson. I'm not saying he's going to surpass Adrian Peterson. I'm saying there's enough there to comp him to it, and I really like it. Big back, 6 foot, 220 pounds, but extremely good contact balance, and his legs always drive forward. He is always falling forward on every single play. Every one of his statistical categories here is like in the top 10 for all backs this last year. 1,660 yards, followed up from a 1,438-yard season the year before. Yards per attempt, 6.1 and 5.9, 15 touchdowns, very few fumbles. Offensive grades are at the top of all running backs. His running grades, fumble grades. His run blocking can use a little work, but that's not a weakness of his at all. They say his pass blocking isn't purely defined, but at 6 foot 220, you'll see a couple highlights in here where he does chip, where he picks up a linebacker, where he, helps out on the line, and he can develop. He can lay a hit down. He can absolutely smack some of these guys that are coming in there. So his yards after contact per attempt are consistently high, 4.35 and 4.37 the year before. His elusiveness grade is off the charts. NFL passer rating when targeted as a running back is very high. So I like everything about Omarion Hampton, and you'll see in some of these clips, he's got the lateral agility that I feel like some of these running backs in the top of this draft don't quite have, where he can change direction on a dime, give a little juke, and he's off and change direction. He can see holes really well. One of his, flaws that they say to him is sometimes he hits a hole too hard because he likes to run forward too much. So he can sometimes miss a more open hole that would be a better spot for him to go, but I don't see that very much. I'm telling you, I see the scouting reports on this, and I see some of these things, and I don't quite see that negative as much as I see the positives of how hard he hits a hole and how quick he is too. They say he has 4.46 speed, which is very quick for a running back. I'm going to say at the combine he's probably going to test out a little bit quicker than that. So I'm going to have my eyes on that at the combine for sure. So I'm going to read from you guys from NFL Draft Buzz because there's some good things in here. I think a lot of people are overlooking Omarion Hampton that are Bears fans because they're so stuck on Ashton Jeanty. But he's a violent finisher who consistently falls forward through contact, showing exceptional leg drive and core strength to push piles an extra 2 to 3 yards after initial impact. That's exactly what the Bears need. He has a natural feel for pressing the line and getting skinny through tight creases despite his imposing frame, showing surprising lateral agility for a back his size. Now, I'm not saying he's as big as Derrick Henry, but that aspect right there, he does the same way as Derrick Henry, and I like how he can fit through those holes even though he's a big back. He runs with outstanding pad level and leverage, generating power from his lower half while maintaining excellent balance through traffic. He has an elite burst while hitting the hole, accelerating to 0 to full speed in 2 steps, while explosive hip drive and powerful leg churn. Reliable hands out of the backfield with soft mitts to secure throws away from his frame, showing solid concentration in traffic. Excels in gap power schemes where he can build momentum downhill, consistently making correct reads behind the pulling lineman. Physically, a pass protector who shows willingness to stick his nose in against blitzing linebackers, anchoring well against bigger defenders. Outstanding contact balance allows him to bounce off glancing blows while maintaining forward momentum, rarely going down on his first contact. And you see that over and over and over with him. So, he's got good long speed. He's got good burst and acceleration. He consistently outruns guys when he gets out into the open field. There's just not a lot that I see that's negative about Omarion Hampton. I just see him being a day one impact running back at the next level where he's gonna absolutely start off right off the bat. What they say for his summary is Hampton profiles as an immediate impact player who could step into a featured role in a downhill rushing attack. His combination of size, power, and burst make him particularly well suited to a gap power scheme where he can build momentum, attacking defined holes. While he may start his career primarily as an early down hammer, his steady improvement in the passing game suggests untapped potential as a complete 3-down back. His ideal landing spot would be with a team committed to a physical ground game that can maximize his strengths between the tackles while developing his receiving skills. Hampton's violent running style and consistent production against high-level competition indicate a high floor as an NFL contributor. Given his age, at 22, physical maturity, and 3 years of proven production in the ACC, he should be ready to handle serious carries as a rookie. Look for Hampton to make an immediate impact as a short yardage and red zone specialist while developing into a complete feature back by year 2. His combination of power, vision, and improving receiving skills gives him Pro Bowl potential in the right system. Teams running gap-heavy schemes should have him high on their draft boards as a potential day-one starter with 3-down upside. I see a thunder and lightning combo with him and DeAndre Swift. Even Ian Wheeler could be a DeAndre Swift complement or a replacement for DeAndre Swift. If we decide to move on, we'll have to see how it goes with Ian Wheeler. But there's just so much freaking upside with Omarion Hampton. I see flashes of Adrian Peterson. I do. Just that tough, run through anybody, juke somebody out, multifaceted approach to him being a great running back for the Chicago Bears. So let me know what you guys think, though, about Omarion Hampton. My concern right here is where he could go is that someone like the Chargers or even some of those late-round teams that can use a running back would pick him up earlier than the Bears could. Even the Raiders with their second pick, their second round, their second pick in the draft in the second round, could snag him up and take him from in front of us. So, will we get him? I don't know. It seems like a pipe dream to me that we might not be able to snag him up. It seems like it might be too good to be true. But there are really good running backs in this class if we don't. We'll get into some other one of those. Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson, Cam Scatterbo. There's a lot of really good running backs that can fit the Bears' play style. This is my favorite, though. Omarion Hampton is my favorite. 6 foot, 220 pounds. He can pick up the blitzes. He can do his job as a blocker. He can also run in open space. He can find the holes. He can do everything. So I really like him a lot. Let me know what you guys think, though. If this opened anything up to you about Omarion Hampton, about the other options besides Josh and Genty. And until next time, Bears, and bear down.